What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the NarikChase channel. I'm your boy NarikChase, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the first season of Resident Evil. Alright then, now let's go ahead and talk about the first season of Resident Evil. This shit ain't Resident Evil. It ain't. This is not Resident Evil. This is somebody's wet dream that they put put out and somebody greenlit. There is a lot about this series that just makes me scratch my head and say, who thought this was a good idea? Now, I'm a fan of the main story. I'm a fan of the canon, the actual Resident Evil canon, the games, the books, the comics. I'm a fan of even the movies featuring Mila Jovovich. Yes, they're badly written. Yes, some of the acting isn't the best. Yes, some of the CGI isn't the best. But I like them because they're fun and they're entertaining. They have a lot of really good, memorable moments. It's nice seeing some of the creatures. Yes, the story and the writing makes absolutely no sense, but it's still an enjoyable watch. Here, not so much. In fact, this is one of the worst television shows I've ever seen. It's bad on so many levels. It's bad drama. It's a bad zombie show. It's a bad horror show. It's a bad television show all around. And it's mainly due to the writing and direction. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Before I get into this, go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best what we got going on the show. And hitting a like helps us fight the algorithm. The algorithm is much like the T virus and just seeks to destroy everything good and awesome in our world. Having said that, let's get on to the review. Now, there are three things that I actually like about this series. One is Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick is a good actor. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's most notable for, especially nowadays, appearing in John Wick. But he's been in a lot of projects, a lot of movies. He's Silas in the Horizon games, which that surprised me. And I said, "Oh, that is him." So he's Silas in Horizon games. And he's a good actor, and he does what he can with the role that he's given in this series. The monsters, there are some monsters that appear in the series, some that are Resident Evil, some that are original for the series, and I actually like those monsters. I think they're done pretty decent. Some of the CGI isn't the best. There's a giant alligator, a giant spider, lickers, a giant mutant centipede. Just, I thought all that was actually pretty cool. Some of the scenes were actually pretty tense too. There's some action sequences that are actually pretty cool as well. There's one where this guy, I'll say that, is like in a jail with zombies running loose, and he's doing one of those one shot takes of him shooting the zombies and all that. Cool. Don't understand how the guy that they picked to do the scene did it, but it was pretty cool. But there's other scenes that are actually pretty cool too, and everything else about the series is just bad, and it surrounds the writing direction. For one, the characters, every character in this series fits into pretty much two categories. Either they're stupid or they're just fucking just unlikable, straight up unlikable. Some of them are stupid and unlikable. Now, the main character is Jade. Jade and her sister Billy and her father Albert Wesker moved to New Raccoon City. Wesker works for Umbrella, so it makes sense for them to be there. And the story takes place during that time, them coming to New Raccoon City, and 14 years later, when Jade is an adult after a viral outbreak pretty much destroys the world. And this time, and it dances between these two timelines. Now, because of this, it affects the pacing in a lot of negative ways. Now, it isn't until the last two or three episodes that they actually do kind of fix that, where it'll show maybe a minute or two of one time period, then the rest of the episode is dedicated to the other time period, and then it caps it with the last 2 minutes of the previous time period, and then the next episode it reverses it. That I didn't mind, but having it switch every 10, 15 minutes, every 2, 3 minutes, just ultimately made the storytelling just very disjointed. When things did happen that could be a particular interest, it will switch to a different timeline and just completely just take you out of the moment. So the pacing all over the freaking place, and there are some moments with the editing with that was in pretty questionable moments, especially like when a monster attack. You don't want to go back to, teens talking about nothing. You want to see what happens in the future with the monster attack. So that was one of the gripes I have with the pacing. Again, the characters poorly written. They're poor. They're just so. The characters just these characters are just some of the worst characters I've ever seen. It's so freaking frustrating. Jade, our main protagonist, is one of the most insufferable characters I've ever seen just on screen. She's unlikable, she's disrespectful, she's selfish. The only person she shows any self-interest, any interest in and care about is her sister Billy. And even, I don't like Billy because Billy is just overly pathetic and Jade is just overly aggressive. And when you see these two talk and all the drama that's surrounding them, it's just draining mentally. You don't want to watch these two dummies talking and whining, and especially Billy. Billy whines and runs half the time, and always whining, always running. It just doesn't really make sense. They make questionable decisions, and they ain't even questionable. They're just dumbass fucking decisions that they make. They get people killed. That affects their life. That puts their father in jeopardy. In the future, Jade makes deliberate bad decisions that get people killed. Does not suffer any consequences behind it. Doesn't seem like she just feels bad about it. But ultimately, Jade is, again, all of these characters pretty much are bad. Yes, I like Wesker because he has a bit of personality and even tries to protect his daughters, but even he's a dumbass. There's another character named Bert that pops up. He's a really interesting character. He's an idiot too, but his character's pretty interesting as well. But the writing is just what just kills this. Not the performances, not the CGI, not special effects or anything like that. It's literally the writing is just bad. It has no direction with the story, especially when back in the present day, when they're teenagers and stuff. It just feels like it lacks direction. There are some things that do get things going, but the main being wild just pretty much just nothing really happens except a bunch of useless drama. Nobody want to see this crap when you're watching Resident Evil. You want to see zombies. You want to see monsters. You want to see shooting. You want to see action. You want to see some badass shit. Not nobody, no teens just talking about nothing, being disrespectful to the father, running away from everything, and this fake build up towards a zombie apocalypse, which doesn't freaking happen. The big reveals that are in there are you can pretty much see them from a mile away. This is not Resident Evil. It's just some idiot wrote something. You know, when you watch those Hellraiser movies or the Leprechaun, and then you see it was obviously a different story, but they decided to just throw something in last minute to try to make it something else, to try to make it Hellraiser, Leprechaun. I don't know, Pumpkinhead. This is that. This definitely is telling a different story that's not Resident Evil. They try to sprinkle it in with putting Umbrella into it when the company shouldn't be called Umbrella anyway. That this city shouldn't be called New Raccoon City. Why? Who in the hell wanted to live in New Raccoon City when the old one went through what it went through? So I ain't. And then the way it alludes to New Raccoon City goes through the same freaking things. Well, I ain't going to no New Raccoon City. Just dumb. Quite, just the fact that they called the zombies zeros instead of zombies just freaking stupid. They just basically all the writing. Even when it comes to Jade's character, the plot armor that she has is fucking so tough that Tony Stark would be jealous. Master Chief would be jealous. Crimson Dynamo would be fucking jealous. Doom Guy would be jealous. Just anybody you can think would be jealous because the plot armor that she wears. She should be dead. Probably in the first episode, she should have been dead. There's no logical reason for her to survive. And almost every episode, it seems like something happens. She should be dead. Everybody else will die from it. She don't. And just the way they leave off with the first season is just a sequel bait and everything. And even then, she should be dead. So this is one of the worst shows I've seen. It's a bad zombie show. It's a bad television show. Drama in a zombie show nobody want to see. If I want to see that crap, I watch The Walking Dead. At least they have drama and zombies in it. And some action scenes. And other cool shit. And I ain't knocking the person, the woman that plays Jade. I think she does a decent job. I don't like the fact that her character is reminiscent of the character she played in Charlie's Angels. A bit masculine. And I don't like the fact that she's just a bad character all around, but can't hate her. She got a check. And it does, like I said, there's a decent cast. The acting performances aren't bad. There are some cool monsters. There's some cool action. But everything else, the characters, the writing, the pacing, a lot of questionable decisions when it comes to location, when it comes to Umbrella, this multi-billion-dollar corporation that for some reason doesn't have security, so teenagers can easily break into the facility, easily hack the system, easily outsmart this billion-dollar industry. So yes, this show is bullshit, and I'm going to say it. Resident Evil Season 1 deserves 1 out of 5. One of the worst shows. No, there's no excuse for it. But having said that, in the comment section below, guys, let me know, what did you think about Resident Evil? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite, I don't know, action scene? In fact, what's your favorite monster that popped up on the screen? If this show could have been done better, let me know also. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and the notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. We'll definitely catch you guys later.